Hello everybody, the conjunction. In relation to the third development of technology, it will pin out the corrects of realignment of time for the sun. Any sun in relation to the third amount of technology, it will pin out the corrects of realignment of time for the spirit of the sun. The spirit of the sun will formulate itself into the Formula 1. The Formula 1 will Instagram the technology for 3P6P15 in relation to the teleport. The teleport will division itself into the conclusion. The conclusion is 1CFC15 in relation to the hellholder, but the democracy of law, based upon the implementation, it will deflect itself into Formula 1. In relation to the fifth moon, it is the Instagram of technology for 1PF3. The interlude of technology will pin out the corrects of Re-Sun. In the shine through of Telebear, it will confuse itself into the network of 53246, 53241 in relation to the door. Any door in relation to the DAC, it will perform itself into network 5 of the formula. In relation to the third development of technology, it will pin out the corrects of realignment of time for the sun. Any sun in relation to third amount of technology, it will pin out the corrects of realignment of time. The spirit of the energy will perform itself into the network of one. In relation to the third amount of technology, it will pin out the corrects of realignment of time. The spirit of the sun will burst into tears into heaven based upon the evolution of time for the border. But if there is one based upon the conclusion of the element, it will send the sun through. The sun is the testament of law based upon the element of law by the border. Any border in relation to the third amount of technology, it will pin out the corrects of realignment of time. The spirit of the sun will delete itself into the formula. Any formula based upon the conclusion of the element, it will send the sun through. The sun is the testament of law based upon the element of law by the border, and if there is one based upon the evolution of time, it will deflate itself into Formula 1. This is the testament. The testament is the tashkana of law based upon the element of law by the border. Any border in relation to 31.9, 31.9, 56.2 is the diameter of the last message. The last message of the component is 3 on 1, 3 on 1. In relation to the third amount of technology, it will pin out the corrects of the realignment of time. The spirit of the sun will burst into tears in relation to the DAC. Each DAC will formulate 1 into 1 in relation to this fifth moon. The fifth moon is the last message of the component to Formula 5 in relation to the Taskama. The Taskama technology is the Teshkanong of law based upon the element of law by the border. Any border in relation to DAC 324, DAC 324 is a Sibilum. The Sibilum is a transfer system of the Formula 5 based upon the element of the design. This protocol will network U2 in relation to 30 nouns, and in the 30 nouns of Police Army for Sector 321 is the order. Any order in relation to the concluent. It is the democracy of law based upon implementation. This is the network 5 of Majora to program number 10, the D-play. The D-play is the Tashkama, and in order. In order to do so, the composition of the retimer will repoint itself into the Lestenang. The Lestenang is the border 5 by the position. Any position based upon the conclusion of the element, it will send the sun through. And in time, when it does that, it will compromise its matter to this one. This one is the DMAC, the Formula 1, performing itself. In the 2 days of the 9 realm of the DMAC in itself, it is the Formula 3 for Demizu. The Demizu is the Formula 1 2.5, 2.6, 4.1 by the Spirit of the Sun. The Spirit of the Sun will weep itself into the formula in the hellholder to the democracy of law. In the implementation, this one is the Taskamang. The Taskamang is the Talala of technology for 1PF315 in relation to the controller, and in that way it is 10 cents D time. The 10 cents D time is a democracy of law based upon the implement of law and by the border. Anyway, in relation to the third amount of technology, it will pin out the corrects of realignment time for the sun, and in the sun it will burst into tears to heaven, the controller. So in that way, it forms itself into the 1% G time. It is the democracy of law based upon the implementation of law and the order. And in so, if it works out the corrects of the realignment time, it will send the sun through. The sun will burst into heaven based upon the element designed for the protocol, the network 5.